Hey everyone, I'm Simon and this is Ugly Grab, an inline skating exploration. So the next phase of my skating development is to learn the Royale, and that'll give me access to, a bunch of different tricks. I've watched enough tutorials and I've watched enough people do the trick to understand the mechanics of it, but when I've tried it in the skate park, it hasn't gone well. And I feel like I need a bit more of a controlled environment to figure some things out to do with foot position and angles and all the other stuff that goes into it before I can really try that out again. So what I did was I built one of these. What is that, you might ask? Well, it's kind of like a practice rail, but I'm calling it a balance rail, and there's a couple of key features that are different to a practice rail. So one of them is that it has this notch on it that when you get on, it stops your foot from sliding. And the other key feature is it's only about 4 feet long. So it's really just designed so you can stand on it and balance on it and get down into that Royale angle in a controlled environment. So the idea with this build is taking the standard practice rail and making a shorter version of it that has that stop in that I mentioned before, so that instead of using it to actually slide on, you can just use it to balance on. And the design of this is kind of from one of Ricardo Lino's old videos, where he made one, not the one that he made recently that was done professionally by those ramp makers, skate park builders, but the one that he recorded in when he was in his shop in South Africa maybe a year or so ago. Yeah. So I'll come down to ground level here so you can see this up close and get an idea for how it works. So I'm skating them skates with the Wish frames right now, and that's the Royale angle. If I put my arm in there, that's with frame and boot down, so you can see like you can put pressure on that and it doesn't move because of the stop that I added, so you can kind of come in there like that. And then if I come right down here, you can see the frame and the boot are touching. So that's kind of where you need to be, which is kind of steep. And I did used to skate these with the 50/50 frames as well, which are a little bit shorter than the Wish frames. So if you imagine, like, if the 50/50 frame was in the groove, like right now it's about the same height like as the Wish frame, but if you imagine the 50/50 frame being in the groove, it would be shorter, which makes the Royale angle a little bit easier. I couldn't do Royales with those frames either, so I understand it might be a little easier in those frames, but it still wasn't possible for me. And now you have some context for what it is. Let's see what I can do in the way of actual practice to kind of show what I wanted this for. So there's me kind of standing on it in a position that's comfortable. Let's just move this over a little bit. Now that's where it's down, and I can kind of feel that the boot is down there. I'm actually leaning on the edge of a couple of things here to support my weight, because my weight's not really over center. Like, this wouldn't be balanced if I was trying to stand like that. So that's kind of the position I need to be in to be really on it. So now I have to figure out where I can put my weight to kind of maintain that angle. Here's hopefully a better angle. So I'm leaning against this wardrobe and against the sofa for some support here. That's such a weird angle. I'm not even sure how I would balance that. That's the part I'm trying to figure out, like mechanically, how would I actually balance that? I think there's got to be some kind of turning of the hips or something to actually help me stand on that. Because right now, like, that's about as far as I can get. Like, actually feel balanced. I know that was nowhere near having boot down. So this is what I'll be using it for, to work on, to kind of figure all those things out. Here's another angle, trying to figure this out. So that's with boot down. That's still with boot down. That's an angle that I feel like I could actually balance like this. But, whoa, as you could see, that was nowhere near the groove of the boot. So I gotta figure out there's some kind of rotational component there to get everything to line up. So I'm kind of a taller guy and I don't have a lot of flexibility in my joints, but I've seen plenty of people that are my size or bigger do the trick, so I know it's possible. I just got to figure out all those different angles to get boot down and get into that trick and be balanced. I feel like with this tool list setup that I've built, it's going to help me figure that out. So I'll probably do an update on this in the future once I have all the angles figured out, and then you're going to see some Royale progress at the skate park once I get comfortable with the right position. So that's something to look forward to for me and for everyone. So as ever, thanks for watching. Like it if you liked it, and I'll catch you in the next one.